It was supposed to be a friendly sit-down. Former President Joe Biden walked onto The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to a standing ovation, smiling, waving, doing that familiar half-jog he used to do on the campaign trail. Colbert greeted him with his usual charm. "Mr. President, welcome back to the show." Biden sat down, adjusted his mic, and then paused. "It's good to be here on, uh, wait, is this Jimmy's show?" The audience chuckled awkwardly. Colbert laughed it off. "Nope, still me. No Fallon here. Just your old pal, Stephen." Biden nodded, smiling. "Right, right. You're the glasses guy." More awkward laughter. But Colbert kept going, trying to shift the conversation toward current events. "You've had some time away from the spotlight. What do you miss most about being in the White House?" Biden leaned in. "I miss the waffles." Colbert blinked. "The waffles?" "Yeah, they had this thing. Waffle Tuesdays. Jill and I used to eat them with the guy from, the place. The one with the thing." The audience stared. Colbert looked toward his producer. "We're live, right?" Someone off camera whispered, "Keep it moving." But it was already too late. Biden then turned to the band and said, "Is that Paul Schaffer?" The Roots looked visibly confused. Colbert smiled nervously. Still. The Roots, sir. Still. The Roots." The crowd chuckled, but the energy was off. And then came the moment where everything really shifted. Biden tried to answer a question about the economy, but started talking about Amtrak, his childhood dog, and something about those red phones they used to have in the Pentagon. Or maybe it was a bowling alley. Colbert did what he could. "Okay, we're going to take a quick break." The screen cut to commercial, but the cameras didn't stop rolling backstage. And what happened next would leak by morning. Subscribe and comment below. Was Colbert wrong to cut it early? Or did he save the segment? The feed cut. The cameras didn't. And that's when things got worse. Backstage crew scrambled as Colbert stood up from his chair, adjusting his suit. Biden stayed seated, staring at the applause sign above the audience. A stagehand leaned in and whispered, "We're going to reset the segment." Biden replied, picked up by a still-hot mic. "Reset? For what? Where am I again?" The clip wasn't supposed to go public, but by morning it had leaked. Grainy footage posted to Reddit titled, "Unedited Colbert Clip. Biden Forgets Where He Is." The comments exploded. "This is sad. How is this guy in charge of the country? Was this real or AI? Colbert looks like he saw a ghost." Meanwhile, the in-studio audience was stunned. What had started as polite laughter turned into murmurs, side glances, and people recording on their phones despite warnings. One audience member, interviewed anonymously, said, "It felt like we were watching something we weren't supposed to see. Like, no one was in control anymore, not even Colbert." Backstage, the producers had made a decision. The rest of the interview would not air. A statement was quickly prepared, emailed to press before the East Coast feed could rerun. Due to unforeseen technical difficulties, portions of the episode featuring President Biden have been edited for time. But the internet already knew. Clips had gone viral. The number sign Colbert Cuts Biden hashtag was trending, and conspiracy accounts were posting slowed-down audio clips claiming Biden had no idea what year it was. And then, just before midnight, the White House posted a response. At 11:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the White House broke its silence. A tweet, short, firm, and clearly aimed at late-night producers. The former president appeared on Colbert to promote unity and humor. Selectively editing his remarks is irresponsible and misleading. No apology, no acknowledgement of the incident, just a bold claim. Colbert made him look confused. But it was too late. Clips were everywhere. TikTok creators were reenacting the Paul Schaffer moment. YouTubers were analyzing Biden's face frame by frame, and conservative influencers were calling the segment proof he's not fit to appear unscripted, even after the presidency. Then came the satirical edits, deep fakes that made it even harder for viewers to tell what was real and what wasn't. Even reputable news outlets began covering it under headlines like, "Was Biden set up on Colbert?" A comedy show's political minefield. Colbert's quiet exit during Biden meltdown raises eyebrows. And just when the buzz looked ready to die down, a producer from The Late Show anonymously leaked a chat log with this quote, "We had a plan. The segment wasn't supposed to go that long, but Joe kept talking. Colbert didn't know what to do." Now the narrative had flipped again. Was Biden struggling, or was Colbert afraid to cut him off live? Inside sources claim Stephen Colbert was furious after the taping and reportedly said off air, "We're never doing this again. It wasn't supposed to leak, but it did." Just 36 hours after the viral meltdown aired, a screenshot of a private email from Stephen Colbert began circulating on Reddit and X. The subject line? "Apologies for the chaos." It was allegedly sent to one of Biden's communication staffers, and the contents were damning. "We should have stepped in sooner. The live cut was abrupt, and we didn't mean to make him look confused. That wasn't our goal." But the last line hit harder. "Off the record, we won't be inviting him back." The leak set off another internet wildfire. Critics of Biden claimed it confirmed everything. Even Colbert knows he's lost it. That wasn't comedy. That was damage control gone wrong. But Colbert's defenders fired back. He tried to protect Biden. He got caught in the middle. It's not the host's job to babysit a former president. And then came the backlash from within. A group of late-night staffers, speaking anonymously to the Daily Memo, claimed the interview was a mistake from the start. Everyone backstage was nervous before the show even started. He didn't know where his dressing room was. One staffer even claimed Biden mistook the band for Congress. He waved at the Roots and said, "Good to see the Senate still has rhythm." We all kind of froze. Meanwhile, Biden's team insisted he was simply overly tired and misquoted by bad faith actors. But the damage was already done. The internet had its narrative, and a petition was now circulating asking networks to stop inviting politicians past their prime onto unscripted shows. It had over 250,000 signatures by nightfall. It wasn't supposed to air, but now it's everywhere. An unaired segment, buried deep in the production files of The Late Show, has surfaced online after a disgruntled crew member allegedly leaked raw rehearsal footage to an underground political Discord server. The clip, barely 3 minutes long, shows Joe Biden backstage with Colbert before the live taping. At first, it's casual. Then, Biden turns to Colbert and says, "So, when do we go live on Saturday Night Live?" Colbert laughs awkwardly, trying to steer him back. We're not on SNL, sir. This is The Late Show." Biden nods, then turns to a nearby camera operator and asks, "Is Fallon around? Or is this the one with the puppets?" The room goes silent. The clip cuts there, but the internet had enough. Uploaded under the title, "The Moment They Realized," The video has now been viewed over 18 million times in less than 48 hours. Creators are reacting. News channels are discussing whether the footage was manipulated. Some claim the clip is edited, others say it's 100% authentic. Even the Late Show's legal team issued a rare public statement. Any behind-the-scenes material was never intended for distribution and has been selectively edited in violation of confidentiality agreements. Translation: they're panicking. Meanwhile, a new hashtag trends, $Where is Biden used by critics questioning whether he should be doing public appearances at all. And then, just before midnight, a satirical TikTok audio remix hit viral status. Biden mumbling, "Is this the puppet one?" over trap beats. The comments were brutal. This isn't funny anymore. This is elder abuse. This is the most honest interview I've seen in years. It wasn't just a late-night interview gone wrong. Now it's a full-blown media crisis. 3 days after Joe Biden's confused appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, CBS executives held an emergency closed-door meeting. What leaked next made everything worse. An internal memo, circulated to senior staff, revealed just how badly the network miscalculated. We were advised against a fully unscripted format. Concerns about coherence were raised. The segment proceeded anyway. Translation: they knew. And now, the fallout was real. 2 segment producers resigned. A junior editor was fired for leaking footage. Stephen Colbert reportedly walked off set mid-rehearsal the next day saying, "I'm not covering for this again." Meanwhile, advertisers began quietly pulling spots from the episode's replay slot. One exec warned, "If this clip keeps circulating, we may have to pause live political guests entirely." But the final blow came from inside the Biden camp. A private email, accidentally CC'd to a reporter, said this: "We should have said no. We knew the risks. He's not prepped for hostile or unscripted appearances anymore." The email ended with a chilling line: "If it wasn't Colbert, it would have been someone else." The video now has over 40 million views across all platforms. Hashtags are still trending. Colbert has refused interviews. And Biden? No public appearances since the segment.